Hello, welcome back to another edition of my videos. We're on the Sweet 50. We're in the 50s now. We've still got another 450 to go, so this is going to be still quite a long time to do. But in any case, here we are with the next puzzle here. So we're on move number 50. And in this position we have Chelsea, Raul Capablanca. And it is white to move. So just want to get the right solution here. Yeah, that looks about right. So essentially with this, this rook capture is really powerful. As soon as his pawn moves out the way, his queen comes in and delivers a really nasty check. Now, black has got some good defensive resources to survive this, but yeah, he's still gonna pretty much lose. So although the king can come here, after the queen comes back to h6, it looks pretty bad for him. In fact, I think that's actually just mate. So there isn't... I might be thinking of a different puzzle actually where he's got defensive resources. In fact, this is just absolutely fine. So that's the solution to this one. Slightly different. You might have remembered in the first video we had something similar in that Steinitz game. That looks relatively similar, except it's just one move extra. Okay, so this one's a fun one. Essentially, all this is to do with the potential of our pieces. I'd love to have a rook come here and deliver a nasty check on the king. So I've got to create that room for that tactic, and the way to do that is to capture this pawn. After the queen captures, this is really bad for white, as we can deliver this really strong attack here. Also in another line, if he goes here, he can do queen here, but of course that still runs into the same tactic along there as well. So that's the solution. So we do that, and there we go. Okay, so you can see here, this is just really powerful. Wherever this queen moves as well. In fact, wherever it moves, it's going to be lost. But also, if it could move anywhere, would still be unleashing this powerful discovered attack as well. Okay, black to play. All right, this one is a funny one. It's actually quite a nice puzzle. This one, I really like this one. But essentially, with this one, notice the bishops here are the kind of key to the success here. I'd love to be delivering some sort of Bowden mate here, but I need this pawn to be on this square to deliver it. And the way to do that is we can actually do a queen sacrifice here, and you'll see here actually this rook also covers this lovely squares on the king. Okay, black to play. So let's have a look here. Okay, so with this one, this is all to do with this king. If we can move this king out the way, this rook becomes undefended. But of course, if we move it with a pawn, this king comes back here. But that actually runs into another tactic. As soon as the king goes here, we've then got a lovely check, and after this comes in, the rook comes down and delivers the mate because the pawn's here as well. So it becomes like a back row mate. So it starts off as a removing defender, suddenly becomes a back row mate. So sometimes these different tactics will merge into each other. So that is the solution. And there we go. Okay, I'm hoping the next puzzle will come up. There we go. Right, 454. So with this one, try and remember what the solution is. Okay, right, yeah. So with this one, it's all to do with this loose piece here. So this rook is a bit loose, hasn't got any defenders. So I'd love to be able to do some sort of check against the king to then fork these two. And the way to do that is we can capture with this bishop. After king captures, that runs into a fork here. So you'll see here that runs into that fork. So that is why we do that. Okay, he's got this one last try, but actually this is not anything. This isn't anything. You'll see this pawn is in the way, so we're all nicely defended against that threat. Okay, white to play. So this one is a good one, but it's a bit of a tough one. If you're not kind of a newer player, you might need to know. But this might not be all that good to you to learn these sort of tactics. But essentially, we know that the rook is worth 5, and we know that the queen and the bishop is worth 3. So with this one, it's all to do with this pinned pawn. So if this pawn wasn't here, we'd love to capture this bishop, and to do that, we can take off this knight, and then that opens up this attack on here. So that is the solution to that. We still actually have a very good position here as well, because obviously this king is very exposed. So although black is actually up an exchange here, he's actually still losing. So yeah, we should be able to win this. And it's saying on the commentary actually that black has such weaknesses on the dark squares, he hasn't got a bishop to help defend them. And we've got another opposite colour bishop here that should be able to win us the game quite easily. Okay, white's playing this one. This one is just a simple deflection tactic. If we capture here, king comes here, and then, oops, this releases the defense of this rook. Weakness of the last move, we then take the rook. Not really much more to say about that one. That's just a nice one. Okay, so with this one, this is all to do with, again, looking at the potential of our pieces. I'd love to have this knight on this square, as this would deliver a fork against the king and the bishop. But there's lots of things to think about in this. There's actually quite a few lines to go down. So after this queen sacrifice, this knight comes here, and after knight comes here with the check, king comes forward, we take here. After the king captures, we're not actually up in material. It's just about even, but the only sort of solace the fact that we've got these pass pawns, and we should be able to win that in game. But there's a nice way of avoiding that. So after this knight here, this comes here. I think white will go here, capture here, and after this, I think we've got this move coming down here, if I remember correctly. But yeah, my chess vision is starting to become a bit foggy in this variation. So anyway, this is the right move. So this just wins us something. So we take the queen. Right. So that was the move that I was thinking of. So this knight can come here, but we're totally fine with that. As after rook captures, we actually sacrifice the exchange. We now save the knight in the process. It's a shame it hasn't. I don't think it's got the stat. All right, here we are. So after this move that I was speaking of, right, we've got this lovely fork. So that was why he wouldn't want to do that. I think this is also pretty good because we can win that. But yeah, that I say fork. That skewer is pretty deadly. He should do absolutely fine there. Okay, white to play. Okay, right, so with this one, if I remember correctly, this is quite a funny one. So when we move this pawn, that actually uncovers a discovered attack on this knight here, like so. And yeah, that's basically it. But if the knight captures here, What was the problem with... okay, so actually, sorry, we've got to capture this first. After bishop captures, this pawn comes forward, and then that uncovers that attack there. So I sort of remembered the solution, but it was slightly wrong. But yeah, that wins 2. Alright, so that's I'm going to finish that off today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll speak to you later. Bye.